Hello. Finally, figured out my thing is on. There are more cast and crew members in the audience, I'm told. Please come on down. Take a bow, you deserve it. And one more time, let's give it up for Antiquities. Well, I'd like to go in and pass the mic to my left. Please introduce yourself to the crowd, tell yourself who you are and what you did for the film.
Daniel Campbell, director and co-writer.
Gabe Mayhan, I'm the director of photography.
Jerry Newton, I'm a producer.
I'm Nathan Ruyle, I'm the sound designer and I mixed the movie.
So first off, Andy Arkansas in the house. Go ahead. That's right. Roll Tide. Okay. Comedy people. I worked on that. Anyway, before I get into it, does anybody have any questions they'd like to lead off to ask the cast? Anybody of the representatives of the film? Any questions? Because I have a lot, and I hate to hog the conversation. Right there, sir. You?
Yeah, I've been seeing that carousel trailer all week. I was wondering that is used for.
Where the carousel that's in the festival trailer? Where did that come from?
So we just happened to time the Arkansas State Fair, and that's a true story. So we didn't have the budget for an actual carousel, so we just kind of scheduled around that with our amazing producers and ADs and the film commissioner of Arkansas, and they really helped us out to pull that all together. But I dare say that may have been a favor, but I don't want to say that out loud.
Okay, we have a few more cast and crew members to come up. Please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Kristen Bear. I played Pixie in the movie.
I'm Dave Lemons, I play Chef Rita.
I'm Roger Scott, I play Blundell.
Nathan Meade, first Stacy.
Hi, I'm Ashley Greene and I played Ellie.
Andrew West, I play Walt.
Jason Thompson, I played Spencer.
Margaret Cogswell.
Melanie Haynes, I played Aunt Patty.
I'm Kathryn Tucker, I was one of the producers.
Michael Gladis, I played the lead. I just want to also, let's give one more hand. What an ensemble for this film. This is one of my favorites, and this ensemble is glorious. I'd like to ask Daniel, talk a little bit about the origin of this film. Where did the idea come from? How did this develop?
So it was based on a short film, very, very loosely based on a short that I did probably 10 years ago. And Graham Gordy, my co-writer, we met at a film festival and kind of bonded, and just happened a guy was eager to finance the film. And so we got to write together. So when we got together, we realized obviously this has to be an hour and a half. We can't tell that exact same story and just add some B-roll. So we kind of started talking and kind of realized that we both lost a dad at an early adult. 23, I think, is the age. I don't know what it is for him. It's 23 for me. I don't care about him. But so we realized that we kind of shared that loss and that kind of a way of dealing with loss and pain and all that stuff with comedy. And I'll recommend that to anybody. You don't deal with the actual problems, you just laugh. So we just wrote a script kind of based on that. We lost my dad, was unfortunately taken in a car accident, and we just kind of evolved that script and our loss, and it's kind of it was going to be a little bit darker, and I just feel like, again, us being able to mask everything with comedy, it kind of comes out more humorous than probably we should.
Anyone else? Any hands?
That made a lot of sense. Okay.
I would also love to know, this is also my question, because talk a little bit about shooting in Arkansas and creating, because this is, the production and the scale of your production is magnificent. Executed at stunning levels. So between you and your producers, I mean, how much of your cast is here from Los Angeles? What was it like shooting in Arkansas? Was it like moving there and back? I'd love to hear. Everybody's like, no, I don't want to answer.
I mean, I live in Los Angeles and work here as a producer, but I'm from Arkansas, and it's always been my dream to go work there as much as possible. And people like Kathryn and Gary and folks that live there and work there really made it possible for all of us to come. And I think everybody that is from LA had a great time there. I mean, speak to that, I think.
I got to go to a Razorback game.
And it was, I have to say that the easiest, most welcoming place in the world to shoot. I remember going on a location scout with Graham and Daniel, and when we scouted and Gary, when we scouted the antique mall, the guy who owns it said, gosh, I'd love to do this, but how much would something like that cost me?
Anything else? Any questions? Over there, you ma'am?
The art direction was amazing. I feel like that's your background. I'd love to hear about going out and finding all those amazing props and things that you had to dress and set with.
Thank you. Thank you very much. Actually, a lot of it was at this amazing antique mall as is, but there were quite a few places that we had to go to get these special things. I learned quickly. I had an amazing team. I had a lot of art interns. I don't know if you saw the credits at the end, but all of those people deserve so much credit. They were so much help coming from the school that was local. And I had a wonderful art director who's not here tonight, but he was a local to the area that knew everything, knew everywhere to go, all these wonderful people and contacts. But it was amazing because I got a chance to meet people on such a local level so quickly, and it was tremendous. So thank you.
How much of the crew was from local to Arkansas? Wow.
2/3.
2/3. That is fantastic. That's a fantastic draw of talent too, because it's just a tremendous amount of talent went into making this. You right here in the front, and then we'll go back.
Okay, so I'm from Second City. I'm a writer-director. This is such a wonderful script. There was so much to bite into for every character. Every character was developed with so much inner crazy logic to their characters. It was just absolutely a blast to watch. And I'm curious how the actors, did they make any kind of changes? They just got dug into what was written there. For example, the man who played Blondell. It's the only person I can recognize from back here, so sorry.
I will say this, I produced the trailer for this film, and I haven't told Daniel or Graham this. My first cut of the trailer was pretty much every Blondell and Dewey Ray
I guess a lot of people know, but when I look at the screen and I see all of these folks here, I look, wow, it looks the same. There's no makeup, it's my hair and my face and all that. And the character, I know some people that I work with, I got my buddy James here from Arkansas, and he says, you're kind of like that guy sometimes, Jim. But I am on Living For It now, so Michael, even from the show, I am on that now, and I use that a lot. I was blessed to be a part of this, and you folks right now, just like I told them back then, that you are actually in a dream of mine right now, and it's happening right now, so I am so fortunate to be here. And then all this talent right here, I'm just blessed. Thank you.
Walter, Nelly, can you talk a little bit, how did you get involved with this, and what was your experience of shooting?
I just got sent the script by my agents, and I read it and completely laughed out loud and fell in love, and that's usually a very good sign that it's something that's going to be meaningful for me to do. And it was just, it's refreshing. It's something that I hadn't seen before, and I've read it a few times. There are so many characters, and they are so well developed, like you said, and so there's just so many kind of facets of every character. And Ellie's fun and quirky and kind of out of the box and says things that are not necessarily appropriate, and I hadn't done a character like that before. So that part was really exciting to me. And then right before the film, I nearly pulled out because I was so terrified that I wasn't going to be able to do a good enough job, and because I knew that it was it stemmed a little bit from Daniel's history. It just kind of, I think, put some pressure on it. But I'm so glad I did, because it was such a wonderful experience, and he's very collaborative, and we are quite similar. So it was a lot of fun on set.
It was a very, no, yeah, this isn't gonna go well for you. I know. No, it was a very similar thing. I got sent the script and I loved it, and then I actually had like an hour-long conversation with Daniel on the phone, and we talked forever. We kind of hit it off, and then I made a tape to kind of show him, like my take on this thing. Really, I was just doing a Daniel Campbell impersonation of the entire movie. I mean, you heard him talk. Like that, minus the accent, but no, but and the way that what we talked about with this character of Walt was that he's kind of he's the straight man. He's sort of the sounding board for all these wacky characters, and there were so many amazing characters in this film that I kind of wanted to just sort of stay out of the way and be the one who was just basically be the stand-in for the audience, be just sort of like mesmerized and shocked and appalled and all of that by all this wackiness that was going around him. But then you also see this amazing journey that Walt goes on too, and that's why I was so excited about it and so thrilled to be a part of it. So yeah.
Who was question? You and then you back in the middle, sir. Right there.
Well, I just wanted to reiterate that I was really impressed with the character development. And it's a shame that it doesn't go on after this, continue with this.
That is a great compliment when the movie ends and you're like, I want to see more of these people. Seriously, I want to go on vacation with Dewey Ray.
Which views?
That Mustang, of course. Oh my God. What is it? Back there in the middle, please.
Okay, please, my view, Bozo, this was already covered, but I know this is a very personal story to you, but told in this environment, how you chose this environment, and to me it felt like a love letter to sort of the characters that are involved in this kind of community, and what was your involvement in that?
So I grew up in a county called Saline County, Arkansas, and we have the most antique malls on planet Earth. So my grandmother had a booth at an antique mall, so she would take me there throughout the week, and I was always just like hanging on to what these weirdos said. And so it kind of came from that, it was the environment that I grew up in, and hope that nothing's recording here, but I have an aunt and uncle that are very in denial about some things, about even my dad, so not to get too deep or grab me a couch and I'll lay down, but no, it's he kind of had some stuff, some issues with all that stuff, and they kind of covered up for him a lot, and so it was just putting all of that stuff and all of my issues, there are a lot of it, now that I start talking about my issues.
It's a personal film.
Yeah, right, yeah, personal film. Anyway, so in the 4th grade,
was there one back there?
I got one up here.
So let's see, all the way back there.
First off, it was fantastic, and like what a kind of master class and some character acting going on. It was so great. One thing, I just happened to go on IMDb right now because I just wanted to check something out. And Roger Scott, what the hell, man? Like, where'd you come from? That was like, I just looked on your IMDb and there's like 4 things. I wanted to see what else of your work I could see. So where did you come from, brother?
Very kind of you. Thank you very much. Thank you. I came from, Daniel and I worked together. We were salespeople at Horrible Ones at a radio station in Little Rock, Arkansas, and all we did all day long was jack around. That's all we did. He started, it's all his idea, of course. I'm sorry, I don't mean to put my hands pretty face. And Daniel and I would talk, and we'd kick it up, and everybody on here, on this panel that ever meets down, you become a friend of his. So you want to hang out with him more. And he started talking about doing this short film, and there actually is a guy named Delaney who was working with us himself. there actually is a guy named Dewey Ray. And I don't, if I'm giving away trade secrets, I don't know.
Dewey Ray.
Dewey Ray, that's right, Dewey Ray. These are people that we know.
There's a disclaimer at the end of the film that this is a work of fiction.
Well, it is. The last names have changed to protect the innocent. I'll put it to you that way. I didn't know. I said, listen, where I came from, the streets. I don't know the rules. I don't know the rules. I'm just speaking from the heart. That's what it is. Thank you, though. Very kind.
Was there one more back up there?
Yes, right there, yes, you've been waiting a long time.
This is a big question. I just wanted to tell Daniel, God bless you for being vulnerable enough to put pieces of your heart and your life into it because it shows.
Oh, thank you.
It's very, very.
Thank you so much, Beth. Thank you for that. And honestly, I cannot thank you guys enough for spending a Saturday night watching this movie. So from the bottom of my heart, to the festival and to you guys, I cannot thank you enough. So thank you for that.
David, I'd like to ask you a question about shooting. Would you like to talk for a minute about your experiences shooting in Arkansas? Was the infrastructure there for you to develop? Were there any challenges you had when you were shooting in Little Rock?
I grew up there, so it's different. Yes, I've done things all over the country, but it's also like it's a wonderful thing to shoot there because we do know so many people. There's not a lot of crew. There's not a lot of things, but there's just enough to do something like this. And Daniel and I, we actually became friends on the short film, and it was one of the first things that I shot in my career. And so we've literally been talking about this film for 10 years. But as far as crew and whatnot, I mean, it's like going into anywhere that's outside of the system, outside of like California, Georgia, or Louisiana. I mean, you kind of just gotta piecemeal everything together. I've been working with my first AC, Nathan Meade. He's worked on every single film I've ever shot, and there's a couple people we had to bring in. He lives here in California, but everybody else was either interning or was from Arkansas. So we had a small, nimble little crew that, little engine that could.
It's fantastic. One of the things you did most, or really captured best of this film, is a sense of place, is that sense of this small town, this area, this region. And as somebody who screens a lot of films or dances with films, that's the first thing that jumps off the screen, is that you know the soul of this location that you're sitting in, and it's fresh and it's new and it fits the story. And it's some lovely work.
That's great, thank you very much.
Was there any more? Okay, great. Well, everybody, one more big round of applause for Antiquities. And a reminder that you should have been handed an audience ballot when you walked in, a little orange card from 1 through 5. Please tear the number of how you rate this 1 to 5. 5 is best. 1 is not your favorite film of the festival, but 5 is up there. So please tear your ballot and then give that to somebody at with a bucket just as you exit the theater.